Okay, yes.
In one of your books or tapes, I can't remember which one it was, you mentioned that earlier in your career in studying the Kabbalah, you went through a ritual in which you invoked your holy guardian angel, in which various explanations were given to you by other people. I just wondered if you repeated the experiment.
No, because it wasn't a question of invoking the holy guardian angel again. It was a question of how to get rid of the holy guardian angel when I didn't want it around anymore. I eventually decided it was a 6-foot-tall white rabbit from County Kerry. I mean, when I'm talking to scientific groups, I say it's the right hemisphere of the brain. That model is 10 years old, and there's a lot of things wrong with it, but it's still scientifically respectable. We haven't quite replaced it yet. When I'm talking to just the friends, I say it's a 6-foot-tall white rabbit from County Kerry. They call it the puka. And the puka has a relative in Cornwall called Bunny Man, another 6-foot-tall white rabbit who haunts Cornwall, which is the Gaelic-speaking part of England on the extreme west coast of England. And apparently there are other of these critters in Gaelic-speaking parts of Europe and Breton, France. And the puka hangs around pubs, at least the Irish version of the puka, hangs around pubs. And when everybody leaves at night, the puka jumps out from behind a tree and grabs somebody and drags them into alternative reality, into one of the parallel universes of quantum theory. And they meet Finn McCool and Cahoolin and Deirdre and Grania and Grace O'Malley and all the heroes and heroines of Irish literature, and Luke Skywalker and Shiva and Darth Vader and Zeus and Mercury, and they become Maha Brahm, Lord of Lords, creator of all gods, creator of all universes, a parrot flittering through the jungle. They go through all these alternative realities, and then after 100,000 years, the puka has to let them go. And they get put back on the road, and in our time, it's only 1 minute after the puka grabbed them. And then they stagger home and tell their wife, Maggie, did I have an experience tonight? And she says, yes, you had at least 18 pints, I can tell. The probability, according to Dubliners, who are the most cynical people in Ireland, the probability of encountering the puka is directly proportional to the number of pints you had at the pub that night. I heard an oral history of Ireland, which is being done by Radio Telefi Sharon, the Irish radio television network. They're interviewing everybody who remembers anything before 1920, and then they're going to move up to the 20s and 30s and so on. They're going to try to do an oral history of the 20th century in Ireland. And they were interviewing a Kerry farmer who knew lots of people who'd been seized by the puka and carried into alternative realities. And at the end of the interviewer said to the Kerry man, do you believe in the puka yourself? And the Kerry man said, that I do not. And I doubt much that he believes in me either. Which is one of the great examples of Kerry logic. I gotta tell you, since I started on County Kerry, I might as well do a few more of them. County Kerry is famous for its remarkable jury verdicts. There was one Kerry jury that voted not guilty if he agrees to emigrate. This is the basically merciful nature of the Irish character. Another one was not guilty if he promises not to do it again. And then there's supposed to be a judge who addressed a prisoner saying, you have been acquitted and may leave the court without any stain on your reputation, except for being found not guilty by a Kerry jury. Of course, in Kerry, they tell Dublin jokes. One of them, a millionaire died and left his money to found homes for the insane. So the executors of the will built a mental hospital in Galway and another one in Kilkenny, and then they put a roof over Dublin. You see, we're getting back to where we started from. Everybody, a little country like Ireland, there are still cultural differences in the parts, and each part thinks the other parts are crazy, or at least weird or perverted. County Cavan joke. Most of you don't know it. Does anybody here know where County Cavan is? My God, how do you know? That's, of course, yeah. That's where the Rileys are from, too. My wife is a Riley. Why does the Irish 50p piece, 50 pence piece, have corners on it? all the other Irish coins are round. Why does the 50p piece have corners on it? So if you have a monkey wrench, you can pry one out of a County Cavan man. County Cavan is in Ulster, but not in Northern Ireland. You see how culture in this country, everybody thinks Ulster and Northern Ireland are the same, but they're not. There's a difference. Well, all you got to do is go far enough into Alabama before pretty soon you find out you're in a foreign country. Of course, the only people who really make sense and they really act natural and normal are the people in Los Angeles, because I've lived there for 4 years now and I've gotten used to that. Once I get out of Los Angeles, if I ever go back, they'll all seem weird again, like they did when I first moved there.
What is national security? Can you solve that riddle?
Yeah, national security is the alibi used by people plotting to destroy the Constitution. Thank you for asking. And now it's time to leave. There's somebody else coming in.